What is going on, everyone, and welcome to this in-depth tutorial and review of Helium 10 2022. Now, this was reviewed in March 2022, so end of March actually, so really recent video, obviously depending on when you're watching it. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through not only the Chrome extension, but I'm going to go through the website as well. Most people that are doing review have a little video there of their face. I don't feel the need to do that. So I'm just going to show you on the screen without covering up info down there, without the need of wanting to be some sort of celebrity on there. So without further ado, let's dive into it here. Starting with the Chrome extension, I've obviously gone for just a generic Easter egg there because I thought it'd be good just to do a generic product to start with. What I want you to notice here is that on the Chrome extension, you've got X-ray product research, you've got the async grabber there, Profitability Calculator, inventory levels, review insights. Now, these three are only going to work once we're on the product page, which I've got an assigned product for later on. The first two things we're going to look at is actually the product research. So let's look at the X-ray here. So the first thing you'll notice here is going on to the X-ray. That loaded nice and fast. Obviously, it's Easter. It's just coming up to Easter now. So as you can see, we've got 128,748 searches for Easter eggs at the moment. And by the way, guys, I can only show you from my experience just a review of how these tools work. I'm not for any instance saying that these keywords or these specific products are the right products that you should be working on. I don't personally do a direct private label. I do a different form of selling, but I do use Helium 10 and a lot of the tools for that. So just wanted to put that out there. This isn't advice on the sort of terms that you should be searching for in products. This is just for the sake of reviewing the tool. So the first thing you'll notice here is the search terms. Now 128,748, but notice next to it, you can actually click on this graph here. And this graph here will actually show you the volume, the search volume, and the dates from all of these different things. Now, obviously, this is a seasonal item, right? So you can actually see it's an amazing tool. You can look back for a whole year or even all time. That this is, I don't know what how they analyse all time for Easter eggs. The first time anyone ever searched Easter egg, apparently in in the UK, was January 2019. So that's as far back as they go. They say all time, but I'm sure there was people searching for Easter eggs before that time. But it still gives you a really good idea. Even a year gives you a really good idea of seasonal trends here. And you can see the amount of searches. Now, particularly this year, for some reason, we've got a lot more searches, as you can see in this tool here, coming from 2020, sorry, that's 2021. And that was obviously because we were in lockdown here in the UK and all over the world, actually, so people couldn't go out and get their eggs. This year, it's probably going to come back to around about that sort of thing. But it just gives you a really good idea of the trends, this tool here, and I absolutely love doing it. So right now, we're just coming up to Easter, so obviously it's gone crazy. And if you could get the right products, this probably, once again, not advice, would have been a good thing to get into Easter eggs if you've got maybe the warehouse space or you've got enough products to prep to send in. Because if you were one of these top 10s, I can imagine you'll be selling a lot. I mean, yeah, a lot of sales coming from here. So that's the first thing to look at here. I'm just going to run over this quickly. You've got the Alibaba Find Suppliers and Alibaba tab. Now, I've personally never used this because I don't import from China. As I say, I don't do direct private label stuff. But nonetheless, still a good tool here to use, no doubt, from what I can see. They're obviously in some sort of partnership with Alibaba, so you can do the price, minimum order quantities, vendor rating. But yeah, I think I recommend looking at a specific YouTube for the Alibaba connection with Helium 10 if that's what you actually want to do, because it's not something that I know too much about. Either way, just wanted to show you it's there. So we've got the total revenue showing here. We've got the average revenue, average price, average BSR, average reviews, and then success score here. Now, watch out for the success score. Now, I'm no means an expert, so I'm not going to say, look, don't listen to it. But I have actually heard Bradley and some of the guys from Helium 10 say themselves, don't look at that as in like, oh, if it's a success score really low, it means that I shouldn't even think about the keyword. It all depends on the sort of product you're going to launch. It depends on the sort of products you're going to launch. It depends on how well you're going to do your listing. It depends on how many sales you want. So don't dismiss the success score. It's just giving you some sort of idea from Helium 10's point of view. But I don't really take any notice of it myself. That's not advice. Once again, it's just I don't. Moving down here, you can obviously see the title here, and you can see the #1 spots all the way down here. This is the listings formation. So these people have got the from the 1st to the 10 down there, and all the way down here as far as you want to go. It shows you the ranking that these products are. But bear in mind, if it says SP, that stands for sponsored products. So these guys are paying to be here. So when you type in Easter egg, this is showing you this #1 spot that they are actually #1 spot, but they're paying to be on that #1 spot. Okay, they're not organically there. So I actually usually get rid of the first 4 when I'm doing product research, and then you get a true idea of the top spots, organic top spots, which is here. So #5 is actually the top spot, this Cadbury's one here. And then you can go down and down and down. And as you can see, obviously we've got the ACE in here. Then we've got the brands. I'll do some more future videos on actually sourcing, here. So this is just running over it. You've got the brands here. We've got a lot of Cadbury's there. We've got the price. We've got the sales. So they've done 11,994 sales. Got the total revenue. And then you can actually dive into the specific product graph there, the history of the actual product there, which is fascinating to open up. So you can see not only the trends of Easter egg, but you can see the trends, the average day moving, the sales trends of these specific products, which is absolutely fascinating if you're looking to launch a similar product either next year, or if it's not a seasonal product and you're looking to capitalise on that product moving forwards. We've got revenue, we've got BSR, FBA fees, active sellers, ratings, review counts, images, review velocity. Images, once again, this isn't a sourcing video, but I'll show you later another time in another video. If you can see a listing that's only got one image, I mean, that could be a potential for you to, if it's got one image and then the ratings there, review velocity, it's got 0 reviews and it's got one image and it's done 232 sales. Once again, not a sourcing video, but I mean, how long has this been going on for? So that's been going 16th of February 2021. So it just gives you a really good idea of actually, I mean, the potential of these products here. Fascinating. So yeah, anyway, that's the product research tool. I use this all the time when I'm sourcing new products. It's my go-to tool. I use it all the time. I can't say anymore. On to the next thing. Obviously, we've then got ASIN grabber here, which you can grab the ASIN. Let's just let that load up. Loading product data, 64 out of 120. The amount of times that I see this thing loading on a daily basis is just, it's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. So yeah, you can grab the amount of ASINs you want and then use the Cerebro tool on here, which I'm going to go into in more detail on the website, but you can use it on here to bring all these products into here as well. But as I say, I'm going to go into Cerebro a bit more on the website, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. So going into more detail on the actual product, now let's load the Helium 10 Chrome extension again here. And we're actually going to go into the Profitability Calculator here. So just a quick overview of the Profitability Calculator. Once again, this isn't something I've actually ever personally used, but it's more for sort of direct private label people that want to get a quick idea. So you've got your price, you can type in the exact dimension. Oh, it's got the exact dimensions. So if the product that you're launching is very similar to this product, you can type in the weight to adjust it if you need to. And you could actually just type in your manufacturer costs, and then you can figure out your potential net profit, etc. Obviously, it's not going to be exact, but it gives you a good idea to see whether a product is viable for you or not. So that's the profitability calculator. Then we've got inventory levels, so you can actually have a deep dive into the inventory levels of your competitors. Now, this does usually take a hell of a long time to actually load, so we're not going to wait here for this to load. Oh, it's actually loading there. But yeah, you can look at all the competitors, the sellers of this item, and you can look at all the stock levels that they got just to see if it's, once again, something that you're interested in competing, depending on what business model you do. So let's move on. I'm talking very fast, aren't I? I think I should calm down. Inventory levels. Let's look at review insights. So review insights, these can be phenomenal. If you want to, I should really do this more in my business. I should really do this more. You can look at all of the reviews for this product, and then you can actually find out, once you look to the reviews, you can find out, with the exact reviews up here, you can type in filters and you can actually find out with the review analysis where's the gaps? Like there's an average rating there of 4.8, but if you start looking at the 2, the 3, the 4-star reviews, you can figure out what's wrong with this product and what perhaps you could improve on if you were to bring your own product to the market. Like for example, do they keep sending them out of date? Well, obviously don't send out of date ones. Is the product arriving damaged or with a label over it? Then obviously, once again, not doing a sourcing video here, I'll do some more in future. But you could then provide one that hasn't got the issue of a label all over it that Amazon stuck all over it. Maybe you should send it yourself. I mean, I actually had this recently. I ordered a hamper for my sister for her birthday, and Amazon were fulfilling it for this particular brand, and they stuck a label right over the front of it, and it just ruined the whole present. So I had to get a refund on it. So that's just an example. You've got to look at the reviews to figure out where you can do better, essentially. So that's all of the Chrome extension there. So let's go to the tools here. So all the tools up here, I'm not going to show you the dashboard, but if you go onto the dashboard, if you do have the one of the upgraded editions, if you just buy the Chrome extension, then you don't actually get all access to all of this. You obviously just get the Chrome extension, but if you get sort of the medium package, then you get all of these tools here. Now, once again, can't go into detail about every single one of them because we will literally be here for hours. But as a brief summary, right, the dashboard there, I can't click on that because it will have my personal details of my sales, etc. So obviously I can't give that to potentially thousands of people in this review on my YouTube channel. But you can have the dashboard there. You can track your profits from Helium 10 as well. Not something I do. I use a different software for that, but I should probably look into doing it soon. Automation tool, we've got Adtomic there. Once again, ads we're not going to go into because this is a completely separate thing, but it is there, and I would advise looking into that on YouTube specifically if you're interested in doing your ads from Helium 10. We've got the landing page builder we're going to look into in a minute, and then we've got the Freedom Ticket, which is the Amazon sellers training, which is a great training. I'm actually working through that at the moment. They've just released a version 2 of that. An upgraded Freedom Ticket where it's just like an in-depth course that they usually charge, I think about £1,000 for. So yeah, and you get that free if you sign up to Helium 10. So yeah, let's go on Blackbox to start with. I love the logo of Helium 10. I think it's really cool and the branding colours. And by the way, guys, there is a I've put my links below for this. They obviously anything that is sort of bought through my link. Feel free to go to the website if you don't want to use my link. If you do use my link, then I have managed to secure some discounts, 50% off your first month or 10% off for life. So they're there if you want to obviously support the channel. But as I said, no stress. If you're not interested in the discounts, just go to the website direct. So let's go to Blackbox here. So very simple here. Blackbox, Amazon product research. So Amazon product research, you can click on the different filters down here for the different categories. Let's say automotive, baby products, beauty. And then you can go to monthly revenue. So, say if you want a product that's doing a fair amount, you do 3,500. Do a maximum if you don't want it too competitive, 10,000. Do the price there. Let's say you don't want to send anything for over £40. You're worried about returns, etc. Do a minimum of 15. You want it a little bit juicy, don't you? Then you've got review counts there. Say if you do a review count at 3.5, and a review rating, review count, no, we don't review counts that. Review rating of 3.5. If there's a product that's selling a lot and it's got a review rating of 3.5, once again, not a sourcing video, but that just shows you, obviously, I'll go into this in more detail in another video, there's room for growth there. They're getting sales and their listing is not great. So yeah, you can really find some great products like this. Review count, let's see, 120. I wouldn't usually sell a product that's got, all of the sellers have got more than 120. And then let's do small, not small oversize, let's do standard parcel, depending on what size. Then you've got the advanced filters down here, depending on how analytical you want to go, guys. But let's just do that to start with. Let's do a rough idea down here, and you've got 23 products here. So there, and then you can just start looking at opportunities. How many sellers have you got? What's the price down here? What's the monthly sales? And then you can start looking into this. And you may not like the exact product that comes up, but it gets you into these rabbit holes. And I'll do some sourcing videos later on. It gets you into rabbit holes where you see something, you click into it, and then you see a similar item, then a similar item, then a similar item. Then you might come across this niche area where you can start selling these products. So yeah, I love that. I love that tool there. Blackbox is absolutely awesome. Sorry, let's just do that. Yeah, and then obviously we've got keywords here. So we've got the black box. So that's for product specifically, and then obviously you can do the exact same but for keywords instead. So you can start looking at keywords that are generating a lot of sales. Keywords, okay? Now, once again, mind blowing. You can click your thing up here. Always learn more, by the way, in this little tab here. If ever you don't have to come back to this tutorial all the time. You can click learn, and then it will give you a good idea of, it's Bradley Sutton explaining every single thing. Click on your marketplace here. Restore last session is fantastic, and then you've got your library up there, and then you've got all of these filters down here, and then you can start finding keywords as well. So it's just an absolute, it's a mind-blowing amount of tools here that can help you to find products. Now, moving on to Trendsetter here, not really something that I have ever personally used to launch my products, but let me just give you a brief overview. So you can type in these ASINs here, type in ASINs, type in phrases, and then you can start to find trends. So what sort, you can type them all in and you can start to find trends. So what sort of average BSR are we looking at? What's the average price? How many sales is one of them getting more sales when it drops to a certain price? Once again, not something I'm going to go into too much detail because we haven't, we don't want to be hours on this, but it is a fascinating tool that I'm going to start to use for sure in the near future. You got list. I can't click on that because it might come up with my products, obviously. But you got list your saved products ideas that you can save on there. And let's move on to Cerebro here. One of my favourite tools is Cerebro. Here we go, loading up nice and cool here. So let's just type in our Easter egg ASIN, for example. So if we copy that, type that in there, make sure on the correct marketplace, and you can type in multiple ASINs depending on what package you have of Helium 10. Get the keywords or get the competitors. Now let's get keywords. And once this has fetched the data, what this is going to do is bring out all the keywords that this product is actually ranking for and actually getting sales for, potentially. And then once it's loaded, you'll be able to see that it brings up usually hundreds of keywords. So not just 10 or 20, but it usually brings up hundreds of keywords. Now, it's not usually that slow. It's obviously because I'm recording the screen here, so sometimes it goes a bit slow. So as you can see here, the Cerebro IQ, it's got hundreds here, 6,160 filtered keywords. I mean, that is a lot. I mean, you've got sponsor keywords, organic keywords, Amazon recommended, but what you can do with the filters up here is type in the word count. So let's do word count. Let's do a little mess around with this. So 5 word count, let's do search volume. Let's say it's been searched for 1,000 times. Let's do 3,000 times minimum. Max, sorry, 500 minimum. Because you don't want to siphon through all these. These aren't all getting sales. They're just what it's indexing for. They might get 1 view a month, and then let's do that. Okay, so match type. Let's do organic. Okay, now let's apply these filters, and then you'll start to get, once you mess around with these filters, you'll start to get a much better idea of the keywords that you actually want to do. You could do the IQ score from high to low. And what the Cerebro IQ score means is that they think that if you type in cream fresh, I don't even know what that says, to be honest. I'll be honest. Then they think that, look, the Cerebro IQ score is huge, and that means the competing products is very low, and they think that you've got a good chance of actually succeeding in that keyword. That doesn't mean to say you are necessarily going to. You need to do your own due diligence, but it just gives you a really good idea. And you can find some killer keywords using this, guys. Some killer keywords. So let's move on. Let's move on to magnet. So that was Cerebro. Let's move on to magnet. Keyword research. Ooh. Yeah. So what you can do is type in keywords. So let's do Easter egg. Get keywords. So we found keywords typing in products then, but now what you can do is type in keywords, and then you can get other keywords to actually match to actually match this specific keyword. So you don't have to type in the ASIN. You could also type in keywords, and then it's also going to do a very similar thing. So you can imagine once you've compiled all of these things with Helium 10, you're going to have an endless list of keywords in any sort of niche that is worth pursuing. So you've got the misspellinator here. So once again, not something that I've used, although I probably should. Now, look, let's do this. So this is actually really, I really need to start using this more. I actually do some research on some of these tools because I don't use them all before I did this review. And I was like, wow, this is like awesome. Now, on Amazon, sometimes, let's do that. Click prepare, click select all, and let's let that load. Now, what you can do on Amazon now, a lot of people on Amazon, probably I'm included in this, I will actually start typing products into Amazon, and sometimes I'm actually misspelling them. So let's say, or sometimes you're just in a rush, aren't you? So let's say you type in Easter egg, but you might actually type in Easter eggs and then put a Z on the end, for example. This tool will actually show you, the misspellinator will actually show you what sort of keywords are coming up for that tool, for that specific keyword that are actually getting search is, okay? Thank God that's loaded quicker than I thought it was going to. And why is this helpful? This means that, look, easier, Easter, egg, see, look, misspelling there, popularity 18.2%. So some of these words, not these specifically, I'm not sure all of these will work. Eggs, look, some people don't know how to spell things. 9.1% of people, 9.1% of people, eggs. So all of these misspellings, right, you can put into your back end keywords. And once again, we'll do some more videos on this sort of stuff in the next video, in some of the other videos. You can put these into your back end keywords and actually start ranking for products that people are misspelling. Game changer. Absolute game changer. What an amazing tool. So you've got my list keywords. Once again, I can't show you mine because that might jeopardize my own business. We're not going to go into the marketing on the Atomic because that is a completely separate ball game. Trust me, like ads are just a completely different ball game. Some people just outsource them completely. I'd recommend looking at other YouTube videos if you're interested in them. Let's do Frankenstein here. Frankenstein. So let's look at this. So how can I explain this? So Frankenstein sort of, obviously he was known for sort of dissecting dissecting parts, you know, so, and understanding things more. So this is what it's for. So let's type in Easter egg for women and family hamper. I don't know. We're just typing in random stuff here. What this does is, say if you've got a massive list there, you've done all your research on Cerebro, you've done the research on all the other sort of tools, and you've found a load of keywords, potentially hundreds or even thousands. This, you can start clicking on these, you can keep clicking on these filters and you can start getting rid of duplicate words, listings, remove common words there, and it will start to give you a new list. Remove single letters. It will start to give you a new list here of your filtered words. Okay, see there? So you can start to get a good idea of the common phrases getting rid of, and find out what best word should actually be in your listing. So yeah, I like this tool. I think it's good. Not something that I've used specifically, but it is good. Scribbles, Lost Listing Optimizer. Once again, I need to use this more often. Hayden, take note. You need to use this more often. I'm telling myself off. Right, make sure you're on the right market there. Let's do the UK for me, as you can tell by my firm UK accent. Anyone that's watching in America, make sure you're picking the right market there. Add to your phrases. Once again, you can start creating your listing here. You've got your title, your bullet points, your subject matter. And when you type this in Easter, let's do it again. Easter. I'm not sure anyone's typing in Easter egg. Selection gift box for women and family. So when you type this stuff in, let's type it in here. Let me show you an example of what happens when you type this in. So let's type that in there. Apply. And what this actually does. So what this actually does is actually the red moving forwards is not something I use personally too much, but when you type this in red here, you can put all your keywords in here, and then you can start to use them in there. So you'll type them in here to start with, and then you start using them in here. So you type in family, and then it's going to tell you that you've already used that, so you can't use them over and over again because Amazon don't like that. What it also does is gives you the red keywords, for example, were things that are searched for a lot, and then it goes down and down different colors. You need to do your research on this. Different colors. You can tell that I don't use this one that much. I'm just showing you an overview. I've actually never used this specifically, other than sort of messing around with it. Like the red is something that's searched for, as far as I'm aware, a lot. The blue is not so much. The black is never searched for. So it just gives you a good idea of your main keywords you should be using in your listing. You can type in egg, and then it's going to start to get rid of it. Just keeps everything in one place, tells you if you've used a word in your listing, tells you if it's the right word to use, because if it's red, it means it's searched for a lot. Things like that. That's my understanding of scribbles. Index checker, keyword index checker. There is a lot of tools in this, isn't there? There is a lot of tools. But I think it's good. I think it's good. Now, this isn't something that I've used, but the ACE in here, type in the ACE in, seller ID, and you can find out if you are being indexed on the certain marketplaces that you're looking for and things like that. So, look, it's good to know if you're indexed. It's not something that you want to make sure if you're indexed. It's not something that I've ever really used, I'll be honest. But for some people, they want to know that they are being indexed correctly, that their ASIN is working correctly, and this is something that can do that for you. Once again, you can click learn on any of this stuff to find out more. Listing Analyzer, Amazon Listing Insights. Let's take a look at the Listing Analyzer here. So you can type in your ASIN here, and you can see if you qualify one of your competitors' listings. Okay, so research up to 10 Amazon product listings to see if they qualify on your Amazon competitors' listing. So this is just going to compare you to the other things. So let's type in the ASIN now. Let's type in the ASIN. Let's give it a go. Analyze. Please allow up to a minute for complete analysis. Oh, that's not going to take as long as that, I don't think. We're already at 60 now. God, I could really do with a cup of tea or coffee, I tell you. Might have to go and get one in a minute. Okay, that's taking a little bit too long to load. There we go, and we're loaded there. Okay, so just like you, so you've got this on the product page. Let me show you there. So look, listing health score. This is a similar thing here. It's going to give you an in-depth breakdown of things that you can actually work on. You can do it to your competitors, you can do it to your own one, and you can find out what could be improved. So if this was something that we were trying to emulate like a competitor, then we can see, look, they haven't got enough letters in their title, they haven't got 5+ bullet points, they've got 7 images, okay, so they're doing well there. Then you can look at the market analysis, the top keywords analysis. Continues, and then you can see the full list of keywords, obviously, in Cerebro. So yeah, great tool, awesome. I need to use this more. A lot of this stuff, as I said, I discovered it when I was looking to do this tutorial, because I use Helium 10 on probably not quite a daily, but certainly a weekly basis, 2 or 3 times a week. And I haven't used all of these as in detail as much as I should. So Listings Builder, this one has come out, it's in beta, so I'm not going to go into this one, but it's a similar sort of thing. It's a similar thing as sort of Scribble, so you can create and optimize your listings with Builder. Create from scratch, so build your listing from scratch or using an existing Amazon, so you can start to get all the data from their listings or your own listings and create a detailed listing that can really start to perform. So that's a listing builder there. Audience market feedback, we're not going to go into that, but it says what it says. Learning, and then look, we've got the Freedom ticket here, which pro training, you've got Academy. Honestly, I'm going through Freedom ticket in the moment, and I plan to go into the pro training, the Academy, to get an even more advanced view on all of these tools. Honestly, so as an analysis, look, the keyword tracker. Right, let's have a little look. The keyword tracker. All of these sorts of things here, these can just start to track your specific products that you're selling, so that you can get a really good understanding of, look, you can track your products here, you can find out what keywords you are ranking for, find out what keywords you're not ranking for, and then you can start to really understand intensely. You can start to really understand, look, am I losing my spots on the ranking? You can track them on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and then do you need to put more ads into it? Do you need to put more ads into it if you're losing the rank? Do you need to increase your images, make them better, your keywords and things like that? So keeping track of your products in that little sort of keyword tracker section there can be amazing. Then you've got the market tracker there, and once again you can see your products. So yeah, and there's the tiny little sort of alerts and things that you can set. So as a general rule, I think Helium 10 has been fantastic. I've been using it for a fair few months now. I've made a lot of money because of Helium 10, the help that Helium 10 has made me on some of my products. So yeah, as I say, the links are below if you're interested in getting this tool. I've managed to get some discounts, 50% off the first month or 10% off for life. So I hope that video has helped, and I will see you in the next.